okayfm 101.7.
Na galamse ho asem de wo ba na ese de no ye secretary to the interministerial committee yewura Charles Onua wonto Bissue na mene no entwetwe enkomo emfasa asemi hu Prof Frimpong Boateng abeka wo say there were no 500 excavators said ye na omoka no mepani no na mabɔ no enche kura na fe ye tie mu nsem yi ni atasense besepa enkoni ahaban Muro Charles Bissue me mo acha no pay
brother me jodo
na boko de
na me no e bibiaro.
Oh, okay. Right. One kaza papa, ye na papa, Professor Frimpong Boateng wakasa. Baako efa that 500 missing excavators. Wono e kire ya wutie tape mu a. O say there weren't 500 excavators bia. Na nkrofo ne kwa wam kwa no makotu wam control board no wam to control board no so it means say you to control board na it means say I capture an excavator ema because say sabre no wo wura ekọ ewuzi wono so tape bia ba ya na wo chirechire mu sese ni ene ade sasemi any revelation of Prof Frimpong Boateng dia baba to just said there wasn't 500 excavators bia ayira no would you say me saying?
Okay, come me that say. Na michia it is in I want. All the casano introduction no. Yesterday, Professor Frimpong Boateng and Papa. Yeah.
Sure.
Papa no po natural.
Oh, but
so I'm saying I'm there. I will tell you what if you think about. Missy. On deserve of them, Papa. You know why? The master in your work could work on I sometimes, you know, young painful view, give you a friend credibility capital. We build the real. We are there, but the more from a quick thing. No, I destroy for a build future. No, so opinions, not today. And the Macasam, maybe one, and some more. But I have patience. It's a bone there. As some gumgalam say some Siciliana, Mr. Passite.
Okay.
The reason why I'm here the mountain there, when Pedam interfere, in being there, if you're giving them Pedam to be the same me at the mountain. Now, them excavators are being both of my consistent, we didn't have that number of excavators. At that, Professor Frimpong Boateng, okay, the interview, not the 500 excavators. Let me know. My friends, I'm Prof. Na report there why na excavator here one. Ya report am National Security Council. Haja Ali Mama. I think Honorable Dapa, Cecilia Dapa, not pay for kakre. What can so excavators in Accra? They went and inspected it. And it was recorded. 500 can be also minimum damage. But that's us. Into them statements, no, yet 4 years ago, and the market. Mine a gun of Fumfa. Mine a gun of Prof for the gun of Fufa. It opened them no one. I think it was in the month of February, no more Bristol. I wrote a letter stating all the facts. Copy. Chief of staff, all the ministers were called there. Asuma 500 excavators and a master per side. But facts on me. Coming. In that the band of train, there was even an assassination plot on my life. The monk of war Ghana was here. Because Prof to make good mass. Meanwhile, no, our opinion, let the excavators down and go for the age. And the man castle. The better was the investigation I know than calling on necessary facts and answer. But occupy that look at the and can look at the 500 euro. My year can be a photo, but I say also excavators for being up Ivory Coast. Now, Ghana had no your bounties. So Ubru shares the today, I saw, oh, yeah, Boda, Ubum Anamoba. Into first of all, no, I didn't there, I ain't chi. And I've been consistent in saying that, oh, yeah, Operation Vanguard for. I thought what transfer me, maybe it was around 700 figures in them naughty. But what we call the control board, what we call the multi. That is such a local professor for Boma to Abacasiano. In Taba, I don't know what kind of one farm and I see all about Abacasa. But that's a matter. About promise the way and 4 years ago. No promise one, but then the paper or the Ghana, Yakamat. You are 1% papa. And I have I simply American Ghana. I mean, you get the woman strategy. If you want that, and us, the means I'm not going now. Yeah, the very last drop of my life, with my 5 times on Colonel Wadisi. Because in you move in Sri Island, you have to Ghana or Kodin. In the end, paying for them near Shay, near for the yes one. Tell me the mayor police, was a question. One of mobile could form was a mobile paying president for them. That sort of politics way near the EU. No, you're not Prof. Moyano. As I said, it's in Portugal. As some of my there. At the time, let them put to my son. I'm reading a gun of one time and one share. It is on my Facebook. In October, we share them let them. Them kind of Professor Frimpong, but on the number can call Ghana for. Subrisu, Papa Subrisu, excavator, so to never Nadine Grano. Nino, Oyakusha. Subrisu, huh? Papa Subrisu, while my instructions on machines on Bonke. It's our down where you're being there, as why you are my Jubilee House from the way I have it. Galamsey, Nakasa no ye be. What's the one in there be? Professor Frimpong Boateng. Oh, Debbie, Openny, wouldn't say, Sassam way. Maybe, Patrol, Kwame Mebo. I mean, Ghana for Mubini Papa and Mubasi. After Market them. By to me approve. Let's say, more to me proof. That's how many Juma. Anamoba. Many Juma. Everything that I'm saying, I can defend it. Okay, na sa wusi no ye bia. Sa abre no ada na wo ameka. Mpocho, Miss Day, na wo investigations adamwa. Oh, okay. I mean, Professor Frimpong Boateng. In investigations for what? One kasa you. I have a legal background. Atasa. Into me sorry no member kasa stupidly seven what I'm trying to do. All Prof. Oh yeah, no no report in my BNI or catch him paying for the mini time moko BNI, baby moko BNI, we on Prof for a suspect. Now, who call be or report to my BNI no? And who or report to my BNI? Excavators, and we used to know the end because I mean, Mr. Passer 2019, at 2019, 1st of March. And see, time now, no wait, let me to baby, like a kind of afraid. One of them, I would to come back also, if you CID for. The BNI for what away investigation into excavators. So I wonder, BNI statement, it has been consistent. Why am I satisfied with BNI? Because Nankasa, reason Bambi, and try to interview Nala. No boys, they are not anyone you Juma. As a pub now watch, it gives you nominalism. They all became suspects. Because I was telling them, don't buy shares which are wishing, what I say as a alien. He never listened to me. Oh, we announced that I'm going to CID. CID should be some more. I think the former CID. And not over missing excavators, Anna. Yes. But send ye any dear Prof. Can say, yeah, because they say there was nothing like 500 missing excavators. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you've gone to say 500 are missing, now ask one chunk of one bumi, a cozy, Rambo style. Then by Nanea, no, okay, friend of Belgium. What when Prof called those boys that excavators hire, I said to Prof, okay, you brought in these and this letter, and I wrote that 4 years ago. It's okay, excavators, it was in the custody of a minister's caution, painful caution. It is an accident. Yeah, let me know, independent about the painful. Police, I didn't quite one hand over, but you there stop it. No hand over mobile. But sir, that's a quantum of 500 excavators in 1 7. Why a peja buy?
in the first place?
Operator by procurement tasso.
There's a one of us ask them to buy.
I Prof. I saw no join this okay interview. Not 500 excavators are you. Moba. It's that day no year interview.
But maybe he wasn't briefed properly.
That Oboko baby ought to brief was the man, and we have been consistent. There's national security report, there's consistency.
Okay.
And I make sure the ministers know. This honorable Sislada, Haji Ali Maman Kewina, they went and inspected the site. But it's working no question sites. Say the worker can go on. Onyuwa, next day, out the chairman of the committee, you call everybody, Moba. That's the 10 or 10 many and tell the worker 8. That thing was never done. It was in the letter. Miss Ying, I am calling Uncle Joanne. Miss No, then will be an internal again. I said, if no be Uncle Shadi. Then what did he have to hide at that point, at that time? About them and Nas and some of here in paying for count. That's why I've taken the special prosecutor to court and asked court when you're winning the matter.
I'm putting I say I walk court into the
I'm going to the nitty-gritties. Okay. But I'm saying that 500 excavators behind you have been consistent. Up as in a Prof for promising it then. And then now 1 year or back the excavator. Wait a moment, Ghana.
Mibo, it was a breaking news in 500 excavators. Emma, Okra, Mube, Muyaduko, BNI, no police, no near the idea, a cozinum near the idea.
Let me explain to you. And then, okay, the 500 are you. Before then, no, I don't know. Into our also chance about no, I mean, find it. Oh, BNI for Pede, where investigation was coming here, where we see which you are called, thinking that you'll be implicated. Mucho misstatement in okay, say. Then, Nankasan Kofno Kona was I'm waiting to one no more. Wait, do me one on that. But I mean, my statement, I'm a CID on 2 occasions of that. Okay, it's Prof. Nankasan Nanto, then Nankasan friend will be an assembly. So they show that the CID will continue them cases. BNS will continue. But because I don't know Akafaba. At that time, not to go to a minister. It's also one investigating. Every Sunday, police will show the over federal. But Nankasa put no a suspect. But then I went to CID. Again, he was a suspect in the matter. If you down one of the in there, 500 behind you are. Prof. Pinoy is Ghana. Pinoy is Ghana. Oh, them to son listen, but he changed. Because a prayer, the credibility on what building, as a strike didn't want it. And then to also excavate you. I know what missing. I knew nothing about it.
Papa, there was a letter dated 16th May 2019. Now, I say auditing of confiscated assets.
Yeah.
The IMCIM Secretariat is carrying out an audit of the seized assets, especially heavy-duty equipments in the various mining districts that were confiscated by Operation Vanguard between 2017 and December 2018. The IMCIM commissioned excellent mark to evacuate all these assets to Accra.
Yeah.
In view of this, Mr. Michael Osafuwari will be contacting you in our quest to update our report. Kindly accord him the necessary. Nature say, Sabreno, na what we are auditing, what we are saying.
Okay, at the time, no, so what the Operation Vanguard mine documented, it was August 8, 2018, yeah? No, it's about 600 and 700 excavators, no. And see, open them, no, it wasn't excavators, some are Prof. Back, more cases are not in Koru. About was caught on the IGP. Yeah, Bissue have a Fibinadi, but most of the excavators here, on that Ghana Fuji, it was foreigners, what yeah? And Ghana Fuji, your front one, and the reason is that, or the one I am saying, it could be there, or the empower Ghanaians near Monska, no way, Juma. But because Ghana, you know, your concession, we need Scots, but my no for Chinese now, on normal foreigners, what Bumna, where you imagine. You see, most of the machines, yes, you put my home or Ghana, but Ghana, you are registered, no Chinese, not the Juma. But it's what a canny bay, no, on do number one. I can't say the number off the top of my head, but maybe 200 or something, thereabouts. On a year report. Because, for my more example, maybe to the Amancia West, that I know when Chim, the Amancia West and the South of Mobile. Now, what you may That time you I mean, Minister Kofida Messi, near Kotom, near Sasa, I think there were about 18 or 20 excavators no go. Into one on the issue, the calculation in Nanyaka, I actually I know about 15,000 to 20,000 because now do now bush. It's only as calculated and as some can bamboo BBA or as that. It's yet to crane. Now, you're calculating, but then you see no work of fun. No, no, I can bear 6. And I remember that this year, I could not bear for no friend Olin, never could be so big yako. As what children was more. And so, upon them there, alarm blew the noon. I don't know when you need them provide it was the release of the district. You see, young call round, name make sure they Ninaba, on an okay auditing you them actual quantity, but an actual number you want. On an obey the 200 and something. But after that, you see, them reporting now or CID 4 or PNI 4. But you are, them like a warrior, okay, or your student, no, or your kimper. Do you know that, Prof? One day, what's boy no go catching the boy no going to no boy not to give power try exams. Indeed, as in young phobia, the police won't come and question about him. Do you know if he had gone to arrest that boy in psychological arrest, woman would be in the back and so innocent. And then 4 years down the line, watch man, it's a chin that time now. It's a area now and then ye, now it's a before ye, now it's a division. It won't have any mistakes. But that's see what is happening? No quarrying the oil or can see here. But I say.
Me patcho mo na me hwa de we say. De prof kan ye no. Nipa de wo kra bia wo wa na bia de na wo hu se na no kore enei. E kina be sa ye nhwemu no. Wo bo say no. These were the rare na ewo ho. Ti wonyi ni se afa na bia prof panie me wakeka ne me bia bom ho se we ya ye bi fi mi na nkesa.
So the Prof is chairman to the committee mobile.
Patcho ane.
Let me a secretary.
Patcho you
know. Now, secretary then. Or letter, and a pair read no be anti. Until I read the letter now, I wouldn't have to even say anything. But if you letter, I'm going to say data, what's your letter? I think it's 2020 February mobile.
Letter there.
It could be a much for my Prof address.
Okay. Patcho, any.
Everything I'm saying is there.
Patcho, any.
I draw his attention to it then. But your reader, let me interview.
Or say, Professor Frimpong Boateng, Chairman, IMCIM, Office of the President Annex, Accra. Dear Prof, I hope this letter finds you and the rest of the members of the IMCIM in good health and the best of spirit. I'm writing you this letter to highlight a few suggestions on addressing the current impasse with regards to excavators, ICIM developments. Hopefully, it can help inform the decision that the committee will prefer going forward. As I'm sure you'll be aware, these matters have been making the airwaves, and respectfully, we cannot afford to let the image of the government and in particular the great work of IMCIM fail. As a regional secretary and as a presidential staffer, my commitment in ensuring the government of His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo execute on his mandate and is retained remains paramount. Hence, after careful thought, I made this decision to offer these suggestions with the hope that it will help resolve current developments. I must reiterate that although I step aside pending investigation, I have followed with keen interest in the operations of IMCIM, and I believe when given the opportunity, I can point to certain documentations and informations which will help put this matter to bed. If you may recollect, at the initial stages of the work of IMCM, excavators that were seized by Operation Vanguard for illegal mining operations were banned to serve as a deterrent to the miners. The approach was, however, changed because it was noted to be a total waste of resources. Subsequently, the excavators after seizure were kept at the various district municipal assemblies for safekeeping. Again, this approach was not noted to be problematic, as most of the excavators that were seized had been released back to the owners by the chief executive officers of various district assemblies, either without authorization or by court orders. Finally, members of IMCIM at a meeting decided that all seized excavators should be brought to Accra for safekeeping until such a time that they will be auctioned. At this point, the secretariat wrote to the chief of staff to ask for clearance. The chief of staff in turn wrote to the attorney general, and subsequently the chief of staff wrote back to the IMCIM secretariat with a response on how to proceed on this matter. The challenge we all had, though, was that we did not have the resources to evacuate the seized excavators to Accra. For instance, we did not have a low bed transport to transport the excavators. Indeed, an amount of 400,000 was advanced to Operation Vanguard to purchase low bed transports to facilitate the implementation of the evacuation directive. Subsequently, Excellent Mark Company Limited was appointed as auctioneer and STC as valuer. The auctioneer was to assist IMCIM to dispose of these seized items, whereas the valuer was to assist IMCIM to value these seized items. These tasks were to be performed in accordance with the relevant laws of Ghana. Ekwawusi, who works as an auctioneer at Excellent Mart, was further tasked to evacuate all confiscated assets by the Operation Vanguard from the various mining districts to Accra for future auction. This was because Ekwawusi already had low bed transports, which would ease the logistic burden. Ekwawusi reported to you that there was a discrepancy in the number of seized excavators at various districts. There was, therefore, a need for the IMCIM to carry out an audit of all seized items. Mr. Michael Safuwari was tasked to carry out the audit. Michael Safuwari has since brought a report to the IMCIM which shows that there were truly a discrepancy in the number of excavators seized and the number of excavators at the district assemblies. Ekwawusi was supposed to retrieve seized excavators and transport the same to his warehouse situated at Temple Yard, North Industrial Area, or Yarfa Abilinkpe. Ekwawusi reported that he had transported a total of 102 excavators by February 2019. The IMCIM Secretariat also performed daily head counts at the various warehouses that Ekwawusi kept the seized excavators. It must be noted some excavators were released at various times on the authorization of the IMCIM. Some of the excavators were released for use on government projects and by use of MMDAs such as AMA, KMA. All excavators released, to the best of my knowledge, were tracked and had been documented by the IMCIM Secretariat. Some other authorizations for release were done in person after I had stepped aside from my position as the secretary to the IMCIM. Aha, go ebekwa. Okay.
The fact and why did that time no? Why you won't?
Na sabre no. Na per de Ekwawusi ko hunu ya or report to the ICI or the report by na 102.
Exactly.
na sa you know 500 no a that was banding around no na fi
Operation Vanguard for me take na General Nick Oku. I think he's in Germany now. Time no yeah on the military will be offering jobs another baby. It's all no direct on any juma. It's all no handed them documents in my hand. That time that General Amway see. This is General Mobile. No. On Fiona 1 Bay. I know all of them. Can I wait in the time what them documents in my hand? And them away see now or wasi day. So based on that, yes, my team no now. Okay, now this is getting no. Say again, you know better. See, a forest one. What also Vanguard cost only 20 excavators. Do action. No way mobilizing. No, I'm to which two motherboard and a control board. And what to were counting as 20. But first, maybe whatever 3-4 days while you know better. Then confirm was a motherboard and a control board for like a way pass because maybe yes, you even 20. But what actually go to buy 5 and 10. But control board is no. It's only normally audit them paying for ministers in natural. No wonder okay, damn nationality. And you proceed. In terms of the letter we trade, I mean, make me know. But I want to miss time and then some of them were given away in person. Because some of full as all on my, I mean, everything I did, I will report. And then better, because CID, no could be a night, them report no. As I said, maybe some of the problem, no relationship with Francis Usich, I want to give them with them in John on yeah, you manner, you could integrity, it must be integrity and nothing else.
Yeah, or the revelation be said, nipa bi wa buy mu any party ni mu, and na woman person, woman sabotaging a juma. Enti woman ye ya say ye free wa galam say, and woman tun say.
I'm saying Prof not office mobile. I'm the name secretary Portugal. One kind of master because one of them to channel, no matter what's in Portata. Enti point I'm making there, if you have and there, when you are about to my measure. The time now that's just no problem. But as other boys know the future and share. I number one, and say, them boy, where you did, them boy, you did not see, them boy, did not see, or Kafana Nail be the message. That's it, them to them, I ain't chat. The one. Let me put the some point, make it, Miss will investigate my last one. But because I had nothing to hide. So they do man or man being damn him. Say, what's it classy? That's an rich. Net Yako Yaka concession, and I just won't do Jumaya. Nay Yako, you to go and I ate them. It defeats the purpose, no open for rich show. But that's me, simply food, baby, no food, okay, one time now, soon to our country, baby, I'm for to anything, but no, we are in our future generations, here I come, and we owe a future of care to this country. And then that's in Dano, Papa Mutumbana Maka, because 4 years ago, as some American Pocho to Google. Excavators, as some other can them, Samana Maka, now no Prof, in no crime, why then no Abaka. More point in them, what was he promised then and now? Now, since you also jubilee.
Was it Prof was what?
Listen, what was he promised then and then what has happened now? Because why the thing in one can in that time? Why don't call joy? Okay, the interview, they my friend, no, Abrichi, no, my friend was Prof. But we don't know every time I go one more briefing as to the true year. Into that I can well on the I think on the 7th or 8th of September then now National Security Council I report for them. Into that I can National Security Council necessary an obwebra us meaning their may.
Also in your
yes.
Maybe I thought Timu BMO who catch and said yeah, I wanted your cocan or National Security Council. No?
Yes.
Difference room.
Difference room car.
And was it the
also in Zoya, into I'm sure them let them put into my sure them let them recording in one number.
Only yesterday.
But on won't be some son water can no the only far away that I'm thinking the Pentagon or Anamoba. Let me know as on the bed, Mr. Passide. Young I am for your own buffer. After that, until Mr. Onion come the special prosecutor and as I'll court him, no see about fighter. But what I'm trying to say that Prof will be behind him because I am buzzing him, coughing, I'm buzzing her, or better than as an uncle ye. Into opted or your opinion or integrity or pet has in the game. On the bunk of his name, don't go in mass in a Ghana on for the temper.
I see. Any interesting days ahead.
Okay,
young Fenia, a Bissue. Na young near a better was now. Well, which is a prof body sabia when no munyina ye bi nkebeboa.
I thought was in so on there. No, on excavators don't know what did he have to so to the corner of a dog cocker, Munko be and I, Namco Siag, Moba, Namco say statement to the who. As I say, Nayswa, Siag should go, not can you one and all, now they should go. Indeed, said that by the same measure, when you don't go for other, I report to Monana, and that time my minister do not report into your minister with on your darling Ybiana.
Because now they said, yeah, Sa excavator no near the idea. Now, me point in say, Sabra na near can 500 no. Bia na onim.
Oh, what a comment.
Because I buy me one was say now.
I do reference now, but Ben, at the day, VR, Mr. Day. Time law compromise. I called him. Mr. Prof, we don't have that number. Also, minimum.
What can I say? Number no, I will be born. I am so outrageous.
Yes.
Now, I don't see any near way.
Until Mamma would show them let them come on.
Then can I?
Atasa, being secretary, then Master Paside. Mr. Paside first March 2019 mobile. Now let her know more date no other other time, a year after. And the Mr. I've been following it with keen interest. No much so fact in the man. It is a secretary, I showed them let them know. So I told you to go to my one and I'm over. And how about some one and we wouldn't see ourselves, Pedamacanoka. Another prophet be will win each, a young fan win each.
I see. Brother, young fans who are not, yes, say someone SCN soon said, a year wife, honorable Dokia, or Mammy Fimu.
Come here, I know. Until Mamma, maybe to because but I mean, but on the until
yeah, because you.
Me and my missing and see. It was a phone friend, Shaman, Madam, and cousin, Nuntumama details, but Martin,
okay,
in due course, which is there, which are full, this Shana, Mobia, Yabam,
okay,
Pacho,
you better say no pay. Yamishin Shrow. You were Charles Onya Wonto Bissue, former Western Regional Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Secretary to IMCIM. And the night train come okay 101.7
okayfm 101.7